I was making millions. I was talking to millions, and now I don't make that much money, and I talk to a lot less people. But this is going to blow people's mind, and they can't understand it, and they can't wrap their head around it. I am so much happier now. I've always tried to live in the reality of logic.
Those clips weren't really relevant to the topic of this video, but they made me laugh. Here's my main point. Opie does not have a podcast.
What do you mean?
You'll see, counselor.
So yesterday I was scrolling through YouTube when I stumbled across the latest episode of the Opie Radio podcast, and I couldn't help but watch. What can I say? I'm a sucker for a good dumpster fire. The podcast begins with the same Rage Against the Machine song Opie and Anthony used to intro their show 7 years ago.
That is nice.
Talk about reinventing yourself. While sitting through Gregg's latest production, I made a shocking discovery, one I've yet to see others point out. It's a tale of desperation, deception, and blatant violations of YouTube's monetization policies. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing you'll notice about this newly released episode of the Opie Radio podcast is the title. Maybe I should blank myself. I can only assume the word Opie decided to censor is kill, which is pretty pathetic. Has Opie really sunk so low he's now resorting to the same tactics teenage girls on social media use to garner sympathy? What makes it worse is how this vague threat isn't even discussed on the podcast. See, here's the thing. Opie knows people love to hate him. So he posts clickbait like this because he knows there's a larger audience of people willing to mock him rather than praise him. Don't believe me? Why else would he include Gregg shells in the video's tags? It's kind of depressing that even with all this clickbait and manufactured drama, he's still not able to pass the 1,000 view mark. But I digest. So if he isn't going to address the title of the video, what does he talk about?
What else is out there? We're talking mandates. People are very outraged about the mandates. You need to know, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to some of the people that like me out there, but I'm not a Trump fan. I'm sorry, but I have to be honest. But I'm not a fan of any of them.
Opie's become oddly political in recent years. Perhaps it's just the natural progression of a shock jock to become a boring political commentator as they near obscurity. But I have a feeling this move by the Opster is a little more calculated than, say, the feverish Twitter ravings of one apartment boss. You see, Opie is so nearly irrelevant, I think he genuinely believes this type of talk will open the doors to a new audience. A group of fans that would rather hear him preach about the power of love and positive energy than listen to him recount the time he once destroyed a homeless man's lunch. But this serious political commentary is followed up by Opie's tale of spying on women, and it's such a stunning juxtaposition, I can't imagine who Opie thinks he's appealing to.
A little topless action right on the beach. We get a few of those every summer. And then, if you don't have the good eyesight, if you didn't get the LASIK like I did, then you might have to pick up a pair of binoculars. And you check it out.
A majority of the podcast is just Opie responding to people in chat. It's pretty standard stuff for a man whose only talent is going to the phones. You want to know how to get Opie to respond to one of your questions? Tell him you love him, and he'll immediately put it on screen before reading the rest of the question.
Ope, I love you, but I need your help. Do you shave your armpits? My girlfriend wants me to, but I refuse.
But hey, at least I finally got the answer to my question. Why do you shave your armpits? Are they naturally this hairless, or does Lindsay make you do it?
I shave my armpits 100%. I don't keep them shaved down, though, so let me explain. I do something called the summer shave down. I'll shave down my arms, my legs, my chest. I'll have my wife do my back once a year.
Thank you, I am Teabags. I'm forever in your debt. But wait a minute. That clip of Opie responding to my question is from a live stream on August 12th. So what's it doing in this latest podcast dated August 16th?
I am Teabags with a Z. That's wonderful. Ope, I love you, but I need your help. Do you shave your armpits? My girlfriend wants me to, but I refuse.
Well, that brings me back to my main point. Opie doesn't have a podcast. It's all been a ruse. We've been outsmarted by the master. His podcast is just a compilation of clips from his live streams. I have to commend the editor responsible for stringing together Opie's ramblings. It's done well enough that it actually sounds like one continuous stream of thought. But it's only when you dig a little deeper that you discover the depths of Gregg's deception. The end of this podcast is taken from another one of his live streams on August 13th, where he talks about the death of his father.
But today is the anniversary of my dad dying in a horrific car accident. So cheers, cheers, cheers to my dad. Cheers.
But wait another minute. Opie re-released this clip on August 23rd. So that's now 3 videos he's posted on the same channel, all using the same clip. Even his original content is unoriginal. He just retitles the clip and posts it with a new thumbnail in an attempt to eke out more views. So basically, his podcast is a lie.
I'm not lying.
But why does that matter? We already know Opie's desperate for internet fame. Does it really surprise anyone that he's reposting clips to artificially inflate viewership? Well, it might surprise his advertisers. You see, YouTube has a set of guidelines all its content creators must follow in order to make any kind of money off ad placement. One of these guidelines explicitly advises against repetitive content, which, quote, refers to channels where the content is so similar viewers may have trouble spotting the difference between videos on the same channel. This policy applies to your channel as a whole. In other words, if you have many videos that violate our guidelines, monetization may be removed from your entire channel. Interesting. Yet when I sat through Opie's podcast clip show, I was treated to 6 unskippable ads on a video entirely composed of reused repetitive content. Not to mention the clickbait of Opie's vague suicidal threat in the title, another violation of one of YouTube's policies. So why are ads still being placed on Opie's videos? I don't know. I have no fucking idea how YouTube works. Let's do some quick math. On average, YouTube's advertisers pay about 1/3 of a cent per view. Assuming every one of Opie's viewers sat through the entire podcast and its 6 ads, as unlikely as that may be, with a current view count of 375, that's a total of a whopping $6.75. However, this does not account for the 2 ad reads Opie stumbles his way through during the podcast. It may not seem like much, but that's a stunning amount of revenue generated for reused content someone else edited together, and more money than my channel's made in its entire existence. Shit, maybe Opie does know how this industry works. I want $7. YouTube won't give me it. They'd rather falsely flag my content and hide my videos behind walls of Asian people trying to speak English. So what's the point I'm trying to make again? I'm getting tired of hearing myself talk. I'm not saying Gregg should have his channel demonetized. He's got a family to support, and I'd rather not see Lindsay and the kids punished for Gregg's idiocy. Lord knows they put up with enough as is. But I would encourage Opie to maybe, produce something original. Maybe actually create a podcast instead of deceiving the few loyal sycophants you have left into rewatching your recycled garbage. Anthony releases 4 episodes of The Anthony Cumia Show every week. Jim Norton and Sam Roberts run 2 podcasts each in addition to their awful radio show that broadcasts 5 days a week. Opie doesn't have a job outside of YouTube. His only other obligation is picking up the duty he leaves on the beach before his wife gets home. I don't think it's too much to ask for him to put a little more effort and creativity into his only source of income. Who knows? It might even bring in that new audience he's constantly trying to reach. Actually, fuck that. He made $7. This guy's got it down. I want to sell out too. Here's a Patreon. You should give it money. I want your money. Send me your money because I want to spend it. You should spend irresponsibly and give the fat man on the internet your money so I could buy things with your dollars, like food and toys and treats. I spent $20 on a cinnamon roll last week and I can't afford another one without your money. So you please, I'll put your name in the video. I'll do whatever. I'm a whore like everyone else. Pay me money so I could keep complaining about people while providing nothing of value. You should do it. You should pay me. Give me money. Give me your money now.
Chuck Clint throwing me a quick $25 on the YouTube. Thank you. Look at the smile on my face. I made $25. It'll go towards my $1,400 AC bill.